Hey guys, what is up? What is good? It's your boy Punch here with Weekly Shonen Punch, bringing you guys another One Piece video. And I told y'all that I was gonna make another video. If you guys haven't caught my other video that I did, I will put a link down in the description below. And that video was basically my top 5 devil fruits that were limited by their devil fruit users. Well, this video we're gonna be talking about the opposite. My top 5 devil fruits that were made better by their devil fruit users. Let me lay out the same ground rules that I laid out before. I'm only going to be talking about devil fruits that's appeared in the anime so far. I'm not going to use any of the manga feats because I want this to be viewed by everybody. I know not everybody's caught up with the manga, and that's okay. You know, you guys will get there. But if there's any devil fruits that showed up in the manga that hadn't shown up in anime yet, you know, I'm sorry about that. I'm not going to include them on this list. Also, this list is based on my opinion alone. So please don't come get me. This is not law. This is my opinion. If you guys think differently, please let me know. Matter of fact, I encourage it. Put it down in the comment sections below. I want to hear from you if you guys think any different or if you agree with me, you know. Also, if this is you guys' first time checking out my videos, go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, click the bell for notifications because I do put out regular anime and manga content just like this. And with all that out the way, let's begin this video. So the first devil fruit on my list is going to be the Hito Hito no Mi, or the human fruit. Not to be confused with Sengoku's Model Buddha, the original Hito Hito no Mi that's consumed by our very best friend Tony Chopper. Chopper is a reindeer that consumed the Hito Hito no Mi, which gave him human intelligence. And with this human intelligence, he's been able to do what humans do. He's been able to make all kinds of different breakthroughs, and he has really been the pinnacle of making the most out of your devil fruit. He has become a doctor, you know, he's doing different things like that, and he was able to develop a lot more forms than a normal Zoan can use to make this devil fruit that much more useful for him. You know, most other Zoans, you got your animal form, your hybrid form, and your human form. Well, with Chopper, he was able to get 7 different forms, y'all. Like 7 different forms. Like the heavy point, arm point, jump point, walk point, brain point, guard point, and kung fu point. Like, oh, was that 7? I didn't even conclude monster point. Maybe I mixed something up, but hey, you get the idea. He's been able to get all of these different forms where every other Zoan devil fruit user only has 3. With these different forms, he's been able to show versatility like nobody else. And not only that, he's been able to show off his fighting capability. He's been able to use his intelligence to become the Straw Hat's doctor and heal the people and kind of keep everybody going afloat on the doggone crew. Like Chopper really did pretty doggone good with himself. Next up on this list, we got the Nikyu no Mi, or the Pawpaw fruit. The Pawpaw fruit was consumed by Bartholomew Kuma. Kuma is also somebody that was able to make the most out of this devil fruit. When you look at this devil fruit on paper, it creates a paw man. Like literally it gives the users visible paws on their hands that they use to be able to repel pretty much whatever they want. Kuma was able to use this in a way to where he literally got the most that you could possibly get out of this devil fruit. He repels everything. Like he repels stuff at such a high speed and at such with so much efficiency that it appears that he not only teleports himself, but he teleports other people different distances and to different locations, just because of how well he's able to use this fruit. And not only can he use it for teleportation and things like that or whatnot, it is the ultimate defense. It can absorb whatever attack that's thrown at it, whether that's a physical attack, an ability attack, it doesn't matter. He can basically absorb and repel any doggone attack that is thrown his way. Other things that he's been shown to do, he's been able to use his paws to literally repel the air and use them as attacks against enemies. We see this when he fights Zoro, and it's leaving like paw prints everywhere because he's repelling the air at Zoro at such a force that it's really messing him up. And along those same lines of being able to repel the air, he's literally able to condense the air within itself, almost closing down to a small palm shape, creating what amounts to an atomic bomb. This dude is freaking crazy with his Devil Fruit. And to me, this isn't even the pinnacle of his abilities. He can even repel intangible objects like Luffy's doggone pain and suffering and things like that or whatnot. He was able to repel Luffy pain out of his body to where at the end of it, Luffy was basically healed. Like Luffy got up and like, you know, all my pain, all my damage, everything is gone. He was essentially healed after this. And Kuma took that same pain and same damage and suffering and was able to give it to somebody else. This led to probably one of the most epic moments in One Piece. Definitely Zoro's most epic moment. When Zoro took all of Luffy's pain and then was just standing there like a boss. And Zoro had already went through all his own fights and taking his own damage. And so taking his damage along with Luffy's damage, that led to one of the most epic moments in One Piece. But can you imagine that being used as a weapon? You got Kuma on your side. You guys are going up against admirals, Yonko commanders, warlords, whatever it may be. You going up against these guys and they're damaging your crew, they're damaging your friends and your family, stuff like that or whatnot. You take the damage out of your crewmates and then give it back to the enemies. Like, that's freaking insane. Like Kuma's the way Kuma uses his fruit, like I can't think of a better way of using it. I just can't. Like that guy's freaking awesome. That's all I can say about that. Let's get into the next one. For the next one, for me, number 3 on my list, number 3 and number 2 was really tough for me. And they could be almost used interchangeably, but we're going with Devil Fruit creativity, and that's what kind of separated the two. So my number 3 is going to be the Mochi no Mi. And this fruit was eaten by Katakuri. Katakuri and what he was able to do with the Mochi no Mi it's astonishing. It's freaking great. Like, it's one of the reasons why on my other video I put what's his name, Caribou on there that had swamp fruit, because with the Mochi no Mi, he essentially has the weaker version of the swamp fruit. The properties are very same. They're very sticky, very gooey, this, that, and the other. And for those of y'all that know what a mochi is, a mochi is basically like it's like a Japanese pastry. It is really thick and really sticky, but they use it for different sweets and candies and like all that good stuff. But that's what mochi is. But with Katakuri, with his abilities with Future Sight, really understanding his fruit, really understanding the way that his fruit works, and his Armor Mahaki abilities allow him to really maximize what this fruit can do. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention he's also awakened. So that that gives a huge boost to the fruit within itself. It's the fact that it was awakened. But the fight with Luffy let us see just how creative Katakuri could be with his fruit. He was able to watch everything that Luffy did, and with just watching it one time, do exactly what Luffy did, but do it better. Not only that, but because of his Future Sight, he was able to manipulate his body to make it seem as though he was the same as the Logia Devil Fruit users. So he was able to use the evasiveness of this fruit, the elusiveness of this fruit, and with his creativity, he was able to sprout extra limbs, such as extra arms, extra legs, grow his body to different proportions and making him even bigger than what he already was. He was able to sprout fists out of doggone thin air. Like, Katakuri really made mochi a fruit that a lot of us would want to have. Like, a lot of us would want to have Katakuri's powers just because of how he made mochi look. And y'all already know, if y'all saw this Devil Fruit on paper, this is not one that you would have been like, I want that. Like, it's just not. So Katakuri comes in at number 3. And like I told y'all before, this one was really tough for me between number 2 and number 3. But at number 2, I went ahead and went with Doflamingo and his Ito Ito no Mi, or the String Fruit. And the only reason why I went with Doflamingo above Katakuri is he was shown to be able to use this fruit in a lot more different ways than Katakuri was. Yes, Katakuri maximized his, but the pure creativity of what Doflamingo was able to do is unmatched. Like, it just put him over the edge with Katakuri. Doflamingo, let's just go down the list. One of the first things we got to see with Doflamingo is him using his strings to literally fly. Or I should be more specific, he attaches his strings to clouds to give him the ability to swing back and forth, kind of like Spider-Man does. He's not technically flying, but if you can attach to clouds, as long as there's clouds in the sky, he can pretty much go where he wants to go. Like, his mobility is absolutely insane. Not only that, he can make these strings extremely sharp to use them as if there were scythes, as if there were knives. He can stab people with them. He was shown to use them as bullets, like he was shooting bullets of strings at people because of how hard and sharp they were. Oh yeah, he was able to make a freaking clone of himself. He had a whole clone walking around of string that looked exactly like him. Like, really, dude? I mean, you had to use this string. You were able to change the color of it, the density of it, the viscosity of it, and make it be able to walk around and look and act just like you and fight on the same level as you. Like, that is freaking insane. And another ability we see him use, he became a freaking puppet master almost. All he had to do was attach one string to a person, and once he attached that string to a person, he was able to control them at will. He was able to make them do whatever they wanted to do. Now, people like Fujitora, whose observation haki is out of this world, was able to sense it and kind of caught it before he was able to be controlled. But if you get caught by this darn string, he has you in the palm of his hands. Like, he can make you do whatever he wants you to do. That's just freaking insane to me. And not only that, he was also able to make this doggone thing called the bird cage. And with the bird cage, he literally put everybody in a cage of string as it came up and enclosed on everything. And this string was so sharp that it was cutting brick houses, stone houses, statues, all kind of other different stuff. It was cutting through this. Like, Zoro and the samurai and all those other people, they had to imbue their swords with haki just to be able to hold these doggone strings back. That's how strong it was. So he's been able to show his mobility with his double fruit, his attack ability with his double fruit, and his defense with things like the clones and the bird cage of this double fruit. Like, that's awesome. That is freaking insane. And one of the other things that we got to see with him was when Law used his gamma knife against him, he was able to go and repair himself and basically do an internal surgery where he put all of his organs back together using freaking strings. How broken is that? And that's not something that's normal. Like he said it himself, like he had to become creative. He had to become smart about how he uses devil fruit. Like you have to know your own internal organs and how they go and things like that or whatnot to be able to go and stitch yourself back together on the inside. The links that Doflamingo went to go to master his devil fruit is what put him at number 2 on this list. Like he was just able to use all of this stuff. And just like Katakuri, he has awakening. So that solidifies his spot at number freaking 2. The awakening, the different ways he's able to use his ability. Like Doflamingo is that dude. He just is. But let's get to number 1, and I'm pretty sure you guys know who's number 1 is. And I promise you I didn't put him here just because he's the main character. But we gotta go Luffy with the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or the Gum Gum Fruit. And the reason why Luffy's on this list is not because he's the main character, and it's not And I know he doesn't have awakening like Katakuri or Doflamingo. But the ways that Luffy has been able to utilize this double fruit is by far the best and most creative ways that any of us can think of. Luffy's double fruit allows him to become a rubber human, and with him being rubber, it makes him immune to regular physical blunt attacks. So we've seen him be able to repel bullets. He absorbs regular punches and kicks and things like that or whatnot. He's able to repel cannonballs and all sorts of things. Not only that, he gets the stretching ability of rubber, so he's able to stretch his body at will, and there really hasn't been shown to be an actual limit to Luffy stretching, like not at all. I remember back in the Alabasta arc where he got basically stuck underwater and they stretched his neck so far to where he can put his head above water and breathe. There was also another situation where he actually was trying to actively tear his limbs off in Whole Cake Island, and even though he was cutting and tearing and things like that or whatnot, his ability to stretch was so big that he was unsuccessful at doing that. So he's able to stretch his body. So basically he got the ability to stretch his body. Well, in Luffy's quest to become stronger, he really used these stretching capabilities to his benefit. Like during the Enies Lobby Water 7 arc, when they went up against CP9, that's when we first started seeing his creativity on display. When he makes Gear Second, he literally uses his rubber body to speed up his heart rate and blood flow to give him superhuman speed. Who else would have thought of doing something like that? Basically using your body to speed up the stuff that's on the inside. Like, I wouldn't have thought of that. Like, and then in the same arc, we get to see Gear Third. And Gear Third is Bone Balloon. He literally sucks in air, bites down into his rubber bones, and blows air into his bones to make his fists the size of giants. Who would have even thought that was a possibility? Let me, bite into my doggone wrist and blow air into my bones. Where would you even get that idea from? Like that also shows a whole lot of creativity on his part. Like when you look at some of the other people, even when you look at somebody like a Doflamingo, I mean, strings and being a puppet master, making marionettes, stuff like that or whatnot, that goes with it. Like that's just something that just goes with it. But who would have thought to freaking blow air in their bones? And that was with Gear Third. Later on, we actually get to see Luffy and Doflamingo clash, things like that or whatnot. That's when we got our first taste of Gear Fourth, and that's with Gear Fourth Bound Man. And with Gear Fourth Bound Man, that was essentially Muscle Balloon and how he imbued with the rest of the body. And again, this comes up with Luffy's creativity. So he decided, instead of blowing air into my bones, this time I'm gonna blow air into my muscles, and then I'm going to imbue my body with haki. So not only am I hard and things like that or whatnot, I also retain the properties of rubber, and my attack power goes through the doggone roof. That's freaking insane. Like, I was hype as crap when I first saw Gear Forth. I was like, let's go, goma no Oregon, goma no King Kong fist. Like, I was hype when I saw that. But that wasn't the end of it. Once he got the Whole Cake Island, we got introduced to 2 more forms of Gear Forth. And where Bound Man was the all around attack, defense, things like that or whatnot, we got to see Luffy go up against Cracker and use Tank Man. That was all about doggone defense. To me, that transformation was more of a gag because he used the situation to his advantage, especially with him eating all the doggone crackers and things like that or whatnot. But it was still epic and hype nonetheless that he used the girth from the fat that he had and adding air and basically making this ultimate tank thing. Like, That was awesome to me. That was pretty fun. But the most fun technique to me was the latest one that was shown off, and that was in the fight against Katakuri when he made Gear Force Snake Man. Me, I like the linear look because that's more Luffy. You know, Luffy, he's not this big guy. He's not this big imposing guy. He's a smaller, normal guy, well, from the looks of it, normal, that can go up against these titans, that can clash against these titans of characters all through the One Piece world. So Gear Force Snake Man, I resonate with a lot more than all the other forms that he made besides Gear Second, because Gear Second is pretty much, you know, he stays where he's at. But Snake Man, it gives him that Super Saiyan like transformation. It gives him, you know, combat abilities, but speed is the focus here and unpredictability is the focus. And to me, that's the essence of Luffy's ability, the essence of Rubber, what we come to know. Just the unpredictability and his natural God-given speed. I like it. I love it. I love it. But that's what brings Luffy at #1 on this list, because he really thought outside the box when it comes to making Rubber a desirable fruit and desirable abilities to have. But that's all I got for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought about the video down in the comment section below. Do my top 5 match your top 5? You know, do you guys have other people in mind that I forgot that I didn't put on this list? Let me know. And if you like the video, please leave me a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe because that does help me out. And also, don't forget to hit the notification bell because I do put out regular anime and manga content just like this. Thank you guys for watching again. You guys have an awesome day. Bye bye.